Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. All daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in WagerBucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.
You're still talking.
I give up. Like, I absolutely give up. Welcome in here, guys. The NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by Wager Talk. And oh, my word. We've got a loaded card in the association here tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 games, I think, total in the association. And they will include, well, pretty much all 6. We'll try to dive into all of them here and give you guys some thoughts and sides here, as it is a monster basketball weekend coming up, not only in the NBA, but of course in college basketball as well. But with the association on our mind, we're going to bring in 3 of the absolute very best, yet most annoying MS that you will ever meet. They are Ski Profit. They are Tony Finn. And they are Steve Merrill. Merrill in the middle, 2 R's and 1 L. Love these guys. They are fantastic. And if you want to make it a profitable night in the association, these 3 guys are going to help you get there. So, Ski, my man, what is going on with you? How was your night last night? And, of course, what do you got going on here today at Wager Talk?
Well, in the NBA, I had a really high volume day, and I'm still mad that I left 2 plays off my card. But I went 6 and 4, so I'm not gonna be too mad. Today, I made 3 NBA plays so far, and I've gotten involved in college, but they've all gone to subscribers, so that's what I have going today.
Did you have the hell no Houston Rockets on that card last night, did you?
I will never.
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. All right, good. Just making sure. Merrill, man, what is going on? 2 R's, 1 L, hanging out in the middle like you usually do. Tell me, tonight, I know you're locked and loaded for college basketball. What else you got up at Wager Talk right now?
Yeah, to say I'm anxiously waiting for the tournament to start would be an understatement. I've had 3 NBA plays this week. The ones on Monday and Tuesday each lost by a basket with overs. And then the game last night, I put the Pacers out at +3. It closes -1.5. I beat the closing line by 4.5 points, and they blow a 15-point first quarter lead out of the gate and lose outright. So, yeah, it's been a choppy week, to say the least, in the NBA. But there's always value. I've actually got an NBA game I love tonight, but more importantly, I also have a college basketball best bet for the tournament tonight. Part 59 and 34, number 1 ranked college basketball season at WagerTalk.com. And also, my NCAA bracket is available for sale. My pick in all 63 games with 9 first-round upsets as well, for a special discounted price right now at WagerTalk.com.
All right, good stuff there, guys. Make sure you visit them at Wager Talk, as well as this next gentleman, straight from the dark web, Tony Finn, in the house with us here. Now, Tony, how was you were on the show yesterday with us, so how did your night go, and what do you got locked and loaded ready for this evening?
The night went, well, I went 2-1 with my NBA. In fact, I had 3 NBA. I have 3 NBA again today. But yesterday went 2-1 in the NBA, and I did lose my college. I liked the game quite a bit. As Steve mentioned, I beat the closing line by almost 5 points, and still lose outright by a good margin. So that said, that was yesterday. Today, again, 2 college, 3 NBA. They'll all be up for grabs right after the NBA Tip-Off Show, only on Wager Talk.
How much money you make for that closing line there? How much did that ticket pay? Oh, you lost. That's right. Okay, no big deal. Guys, let's dive in. Let's do it here, because it was nice of you to point that out. We're going to talk about some Major League Baseball games that have already started. I'm only kidding. We're going to go contrarian first up here, guys. That is right. Contrarian game of the night. Last night, we looked at the Miami game, who... if you like 1980s basketball, it was on full display last night in Miami, Memphis, where I don't even think they broke 170 points. That was a lot of fun. If you were on the under, good stuff. Unfortunately, we were on the Miami Heat, but nobody on the panel actually wanted to join the Miami Heat, and with good reason, as Memphis wins by 4 last night. But tonight, we're going to take a look at the Washington Wizards, taking on Utah. And boy, oh boy, has this line kind of been all over the place. It opened up at 10 in a number of places late last night, and it was 12 for a little while here early this morning at a number of books. It has since come back down a little bit. We're seeing 11s now pretty much steady across the board, and the total right around 238 in that matchup. But, Ski, let me start with you, my friend. The Wizards here. A, do you agree with the move? It seems like the Wizards haven't won a home game in like forever here. But do you agree with the market move, or do you feel like there might be some value taking this home underdog?
I agree with the market move. I think there's even a little more room to go. The number I made was 14, and
wow.
I'm looking at the Wizards like I was trying to give them some kind of credit because they've been losing to really good teams, but then they come in and lose to Sacramento. So at this point, yeah, I have no faith in Washington. You never know. Somebody could sit out too. Maybe Westbrook sits. So he's been a big part of why they've been successful and why they win the games that they even win. So, and you know how I feel about Westbrook. So for me to say that means he's been balling. And I like to fade teams that have lost 5 or more games in a row. If you've been doing that consistently all year, you've been hitting 70.5% on about 44 plays. So that says fade Washington today. I would take Utah.
All right, back in Utah, seem to have righted the ship there, Steve, recently. But I don't know. Do you trust them on the road in this spot, laying double digits? Do you agree with the market move, or do you think there's some fight left in this Wizard squad?
Yeah, I mean, historic SDQLing over the years. We'll go back and look at this Utah Jazz couple-month run as far as systems, when to fade teams, when to play teams. It was a monster, historic point spread run that they were on, and we were all waiting for it to end. And it definitely ended pretty hard right before the All-Star break, back-to-back losses. They're now 1-4 ATS their last 5, and that includes that cover against Boston the other night, which was a high-profile game for them. Yet the one thing that was consistent once again, Joe, they might have covered finally and won, but they still did not play good defense. I mentioned losing a couple totals this week by a basket. This was one of them. It landed 226. I put it out at 228. Closed 229.5. Once again, beat the closing line for what it's worth. But Utah has now given up 46% shooting or worse in 6 of their last 7 games. So it's not a coincidence that they're not winning and covering all of a sudden. They've got to look ahead at Toronto with no rest tomorrow, or against Toronto, rather, on the road tomorrow. So I don't necessarily think the Jazz have fixed their problems. And when they went on that monster point spread run for a couple months, they were really digit for most of those games. The market just never adjusted. We're now seeing the market adjust. They're a 4-point road favorite at Boston. I know they covered, but that was still pretty pricey against a good team. Now it's double digits. So I have no problem backing the Wizards here as a contrarian play, as I'm still looking for reasons to play against Utah, as it looks like that point spread run has come to an end.
Tony Finn, I mean, the Wizards, bit of a slump, 1-7 in their last 8, but during that stretch, they have 3 losses by 6 or fewer points, including 2 losses with last-second game-winning shots. So do you trust this Utah squad here on the road to lay double digits like this tonight?
I don't. Right now, I think it would be wise, I believe, at least in my orbit, it's wise to not trust the Jazz. Once that, as Steve mentioned, that historic trending NRBQ stuff ended, and it did end abruptly, and it's still going on. I mean, they're 5-5 over the last 10. They are scoring still 120 points, still a game. However, they're allowing almost 50% shooting from the field. And if you're going to be soft and sloppy defensively, I'm not saying the Wizards are going to win the game. What I'm saying is this is a game where I would be north of the total. I think this is a great opportunity to watch the Jazz and the Wizards have a little fun on the basketball court, defense aside. And I think the numbers. Listen, it's a large number. What is it right now? 237, 238. I still like north of the total on this. I'd go. I know we're talking about a contrarian. I really don't like either side. If I'm going to play something here, I'm still going to take the Wizards and the points. I'm certainly not going to lay that number, not with the way the Jazz are playing, but I like the over.
Still confused as to where that all ended up back, but I think eventually he got to a side somewhere in that discussion, but that's good. Bottom line, Wizards, Utah, that's the contrarian game of the night. We're looking at Washington. Give us the 11.5 points at this time. All right, guys, let's take a look here at one of our featured games here, and we've got a few of them on the board. We're going to look at the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Atlanta Hawks. And wouldn't you know it, our good friend John Ryan celebrating a birthday today. That is right. Happy birthday, John Ryan. And like all good guys on their birthday, they find angles. And that's exactly what he does over at sportsmemo.com. So let's take a look and see if Steve Merrill can decipher for us. We've got when the total is lined between 220 and 229.5. Steve loves these. And one team is allowing opponents to shoot 50% plus, and the other team has made 9 or more three-pointers in consecutive games. Well, then the over, 69, 34, and 1 the last 10 seasons. And this applies to the OKC Atlanta game. 227 is what it opened, but it's down to 224 now with the Thunder getting 7 points, a touchdown here from the Atlanta Hawks. So, Steve, I'm coming to you first. A, did you understand a word of what was posted there by birthday boy John Ryan? Or do you just say scrap and I'm taking the under?
I pride myself in having props at the ready, and I could not find a pair of glasses because I've got good vision, luckily, and I was going to put them on and squint at the screen. It would have been funny. It would have been great comedy there, guys, but I blew it. And I'm still upset I couldn't find some glasses on my desk somewhere here. But happy birthday to John Ryan. He gave us all a gift today with this one. I'm not big on the parameter, as you said, the 220 to 230 range. And the other problem with that as well is that games this year are so much higher scoring than any games in past years. But I think it makes some sense as far as the bad defense. I never have a problem playing overs with bad defensive teams. And this is a situation here where you've got two teams that aren't great defensively. The three-point shooting is interesting as well because that's become more of an issue in the NBA in recent years. But yeah, it's his birthday. I'm not going to disagree with the angle of the day for happy birthday, John Ryan. And Tony Finn, he has sent you a package of SDQLs free of charge in a cooler wrapped container. So be very careful. Tony Finn gets a lot of strange packages on his doorsteps on a daily basis. But this one might be some SDQL for birthday boy John Ryan.
All right. So, and it's interesting because the market is headed the other way. It continues to go down there. So, Ski, I'm coming back to you here. Is Capella playing? He's still listed as questionable. Al Horford back for the Oklahoma City Thunder in this one. I don't know. Do you like the side? Do you like the total? How would you approach this one?
This game is kind of tough for me because Atlanta's been a team that I've been saying should continue to streak and go on a run. They've been playing well since they got a new coach. And OKC, it's a team that I like to play on the road, especially when they have minimal rest. They're 33-10 against the spread. Their last 43, that's going back to last year, and 12-4 against the spread this year. They failed to cover the last one, but they have more bodies in the lineup for this one. I see at least Al Horford's in. We'll see if they get Lou Dort, and I think they get a couple other guys. So it's a tough one for me. If I had to play it right now, I'll probably just take the plus points because I've been riding OKC in this role longer than I've been back in Atlanta.
I listen. I mean, kudos to Atlanta, turn it around. They're on a roll, right? This would be the 7th straight win if they're able to take down OKC. But laying 7, Tony Finn, can you count that high? How high is that high enough, Tony? Not if are you high, but is that high enough?
I was about to say, do we really want to go with that conversation? Because we can discuss it. Here at Oklahoma City, from what I have, I didn't hear Ski say in or out, but it looks like Dort's out. Is Horford in? Is he active tonight?
Yes, he is active.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Here's the big question for me then. Is Capella playing?
That he's questionable. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, he's questionable.
Listen, we could talk about this game at length, but if Capella's not playing, then I'm on OKC. Without Capella, this Atlanta team struggles to rebound the basketball. And Capella he's the key to this Atlanta team being successful. Period, in my opinion. Trae Young's the star. Capella's the key when it comes to me assessing the ATS and I would be on OKC here without Capella. With Capella, I'm probably going to be away from the game simply because I struggle to put my arms around OKC. I've been right as many times I've been wrong, maybe more wrong. So since we're discussing the game, though, put a gun to my head, I'm going to be on OKC plus the points.
Okay, going OKC plus the points. Capella still looks listed as questionable. We'll see there, but I agree with Tony. I do think there is certainly some value in waiting to see what his status is before this game. All right, guys, let's move on. We'll take another game here, featured game of the night. I believe we're going to look at Portland and the New Orleans Pelicans, which I kind of feel like we just watched this game, guys. Did we not the other night, where an epic collapse by the New Orleans Pelicans late and give Lillard and company credit? They came back to win that game at home. Well, it's round 2 here tonight. Opened up at 2. You see for the Trailblazers. I'm seeing a lot of ones across the board. I'm also seeing the total had come back down a little bit from 242 to 239.5. So, Tony Finn, I'll start with you here, my man. We just watched this game. What, in your mind, if anything, changes?
Well, I think what changes here is I think it's safe to comfortably not have to depend on Lillard to score 50 points and stage an epic, like as you mentioned. Was it an epic meltdown, or was it an epic comeback or performance? Once again, by Dame. So here's the deal. In that game, both teams, if you look at the box score in that game, you're going to find that the Trailblazers shot 52% from the field. They shot 41% from beyond the arc, from distance. And they still needed a burst of points in the final 6 minutes to win this game. Why? Because New Orleans shot 52% from the field and 49% from the three-point line and lost. I'll take Portland at home minus the points here easily. If you look at that, and you're going to depend on, if you think that Alexander is going to shoot 7 for 13 from the field, 6 for 9 from the three-point line, then you need to be on New Orleans plus the points. I'm not. I'm on Portland minus the points.
Do you trust them, Ski? I mean, blowing a 16-point lead just 2 nights ago, do you trust them to bounce back here in New Orleans, or is Portland all the way for you?
I don't trust New Orleans. We've seen them do that the most out of anybody this year. I think they've done it 6 times, and they've been up 15 points or more. They just blow it. So I say all the time that they can never play a full game, and I still feel that way. So it's been some times where they come out after getting embarrassed, and then they play inspired. But like Tony said, I just think it'll be an easier game for Portland in this one. I do, however, I won't look towards the spread as much. I think New Orleans is still going to shoot well from the field because there's not really any deterrent at the rim for Portland. And I just see a lot of easy baskets. They lead the league in second chance points as well. Portland, terrible rebounding the basketball. So I think New Orleans field goal percentage is still going to be high, but I also think Portland is going to score. So I like the over.
You're liking the over in this one. All right. Steve, it's got to be mentally draining if you're the Pelicans, right, to lose the way you've lost twice now to this Portland squad. Do you think Portland's going to have any problems handling them again tonight?
I'm actually going to look more at the total here, and it's very hard for me to make a case to play any New Orleans games under the total, obviously. They're 28-11 to the over, and Ski just mentioned, he likes the over here. But I think this is one of those situations you could make some cases for the under, 2 reasons. First of all, as Tony pointed out, shot lights out, both teams, and it's still total, yes, 249, but the total was 240. So, I mean, it still barely went over. And, you and I, Joe, were talking about this last night, actually, that you need almost everything to go perfect when you get to these price range with these totals. And I've mentioned how I've missed 2 overs earlier this week by a basket each, and those are in the high 220 range. And it's just getting to a point now where these totals are priced so high that everything needs to go right. Now, this one is about it opened 241. It's down to 239.5, 239. So it's actually a little lower than the other night. But that, once again, is because the 2 teams shot lights out, 52 and 52% each from the field, 42 and 49% from 3. 80 and 100%, 31 for 31 from the free throw line for the Blazers. Yeah. And they only scored 249. So I actually lean under here. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry to bet New Orleans games unders, but I played a much more perfect game. I think if they are a little flat, maybe that hurts the defense here. But then again, maybe they come motivated because they blew it. And then also Portland has games against Dallas tomorrow night, so they do have a no-rest situation coming up. I actually lean under in this one.
All right, under it is there. I can't believe we're saying that with a Portland Pelicans game, but that's exactly it. And the market agrees as it continues to roll downward here from 242 down to about 239, 239.5 in some places. All right, we'll keep it rolling here. Just a couple of more games on the board here tonight, and we're going to take a look at the Lakers taking on the Charlotte Hornets here, and the Lakers have no problem beating Charlotte. Like, that's what they do. Charlotte had a little altitude sickness last night in the form of the Denver Nuggets, and they got a little can of whoop ass opened up on them there. And I'm going to come back to you, Stevie. What do you do here in this spot here? Staples Center, Lakers have been profitable in that spot. It's an 8 number. I'm seeing it 7.5. I am seeing the total at 224.5. So side total, how would you approach it?
Yeah, it's a homecoming for LaMelo Ball, right? So Ski will have his banners and his jerseys on tonight for LaMelo as he returns. But yeah, I just, the Lakers are playing better here. I think they were 4-6 without Davis until these recent couple wins. So they're getting basically back up to 500 now. And looking to play maybe with the current lineup a little better. That kind of makes sense. But then again, I think at some point they're going to have an off night. I mean, it's still load management for them. It's still bigger picture on deck with the playoffs. They're still 27-13 this year. So I could see this being a spot where the Lakers come a little flat tonight. No real look aheads. They have Atlanta on deck on Saturday, and then a fairly big game at Phoenix on Sunday. I don't think that necessarily plays into tonight too much, but hard for me to imagine they'll be fully focused here for a non-conference team that on the season is just 20-19 in Charlotte. So I could see the Lakers coming a little flat tonight. Would not be surprised if the dog keeps it close.
Well, listen, if you're a Charlotte backer here, Ski, right, the good news is they really didn't play any defense last night, so they got to be a little well-rested here, even though it's another game on the road for them. I don't know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it to me here with this Lakers squad against Charlotte. How do you see it?
Charlotte, I don't think it's going to be tired. For one, like you said, it was a blowout, and they're young anyway. So I think they have a bench too, so they're pretty deep, and I think they'll be okay as far as that goes. The Lakers, they always start flat. They're not good early. At least in the first half, and then it takes till the second half for them to have to come back and win or cover these games. So I'm looking towards Charlotte early and often. Charlotte, they've covered 7 of the last 10 in the first half. Lakers have lost 3 of the last 10. They're 6-15-1 in the first half at home. So I like the first quarter Charlotte, first half Charlotte, full game.
Ooh, like that angle there. Looking that number up right now, as a matter of fact. Tony, Kyle Kuzma's a go here tonight. He's active. Is it Lakers or bust for you? Come on.
The answer to that was yes. You're on the Lakers tonight, or you should be out of the room in this game. First and foremost, is it? We can talk. We can show Michael Jordan on the screen cheering on his young players, and while he secretly has a little microphone or a little earpiece in his ear, listening to the scores of the games he's gambling on. Yes, go ahead. Tell Michael I said that. And Charlotte's not very good. Guys, they're not very good. Earlier this week, I was fortuitous. I had Charlotte against a team that I fade all the time, being Sacramento. And Charlotte trailed in that game for, I think, 45 of the 48 minutes. And they won by 6, laying 3.5. That's a gift from God on my side. I followed up last night as my best bet was Denver, because Charlotte hasn't won at altitude since 2017. I know the players aren't the same, but the case is the case. This year, they'd lost 2 games at altitude. And the games following altitude, something's kind of amiss. You guys, if you looked at the box score and you looked at the minutes the Hornets played last night, Ski mentioned they do have a deep bench. They have a deep bench. They play a lot of players. Their deep bench outside of Graham, and, well, they're just not very good. PJ Washington, Hayward played the most minutes, and he only played 26 last night. So I don't think it's going to be anything to do with fatigue for Charlotte. But the Lakers own this team. They have owned this team, and without Davis, they win tonight by double digits, simply because Charlotte may try to play all 5 of their starters 35 minutes in some reason. I cannot. It's beyond me why they would rest last night to play tonight, unless they're thinking Denver's better than Lakers. Lakers tonight, double digits. I like them.
So just to recap there, I know you mentioned should Ski leave the room now because you opened that whole diatribe with if you're not on the Lakers, you should leave the room. I could be crazy, Ski, but I heard you should leave the room because you had the audacity to back this team
Give
here
me a
tonight.
sawbuck, damn it.
I don't get it.
I want.
It sounds like it to me.
I could go on all day.
If you take everything I say literally, you're dead. You've been dead for years.
I take it all. I take it all literally. So I'm going to leave the room right now because I kind of back the Hornets here tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I'll see you all later.
All right, good talking to you, Merrill. Thank you very much. Throw the damn Switzerland flag up there and block his ass. I love it. Very nice. The props are outstanding, Merrill. Very nice. All right, so it's basically you got to decide who you want. You back in Ski, you back in Tony Finn. And by the way, do we get a couple of sawbucks on this here, Tony Finn? Because you're already Ski about 100 of them from your San Antonio play a couple of weeks ago. Okay, well, all right, we're good. We're in. You already owe them. Right. You will be paying up again tomorrow. I promise you. Are you in?
Bet.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right, guys. One more play, courtesy of our friends of the Gold Sheet. Let's take a look at it quick here as they like the New York Knicks tonight over the Orlando Magic. I'm still, and I know Knicks fans are still trying to get that taste out of their mouth from that double-digit lead, which they lost to Philadelphia in that game a couple of nights ago. They do like the Knicks to bounce back in this situation. -5 is what the number is, and our friends at the Gold Sheet, you can read this full write-up, guys. Just head over to our Twitter page at WagerTalk. It's posted there. You get the entire write-up plus all the data and the stats on the bottom there. You'll be able to see it all at Twitter. I'll just quickly go around and ask you guys, Ski, I'll start with you. Do you agree with the Gold Sheet? The Knicks laying 5 here tonight against Orlando.
I was waiting for an angle or something to be read, but no. I don't think I agree with the Knicks. I don't think they're that healthy. What's the name? No guards are playing.
No guards, exactly.
Yep. Rose, Payton, quickly. I can't trust them. I already wanted to sell on the Knicks. I think going forward, I think they played a little bit better than they are. Their defense has regressed. So Orlando's not great. I look at their injury report. I would want Fournier in, Terrence Ross in, and hopefully Gordon in. But Orlando's probably the only way I can look, even though, I mean, it's angle against angle. It's a flat spot for New York.
Right.
And it's Orlando who hasn't won a game in forever. So if I have to pick gun to my head, I'll lean Orlando.
I mean, Steve, let me ask you, man, disappointing start with this Knicks squad, obviously, after the All-Star break, but the schedule is rough. They got no guard, no Rose, no Payton, no Quigley, no Austin Rivers. No, who the hell's going to play, Tony Finn? Like, do you want to back them here, or are you throwing your nose up at our friends with the Gold Sheet?
Well, I would never. Is going to.
I didn't say Tony. I said Steve. So be quiet.
Joe, you know what's funny, Joe, is I've hosted enough shows with Tony over the years. The minute you said his name while asking me the question, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. So, God, I wish I could bet. I wish we had in-show betting because that would have been a 100% lock right there. But I was going to say, if Tony Finn is playing point guard, I need to know this kind of information as well. But a couple of things real quick on this game. First of all, the Knicks are 1-3 straight up, as you said, their last 4, but they're 3-1 against the spread. So they're keeping games close. The one time they were favored was against Oklahoma City. They won by 22. I did some quick SDQLing of my own, which I do in my head, basically looking at the screen. And the Knicks are now, I believe, 8-1 straight up in ATS since early February when favored. So they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat in the last couple of months, and that's why they're still in the playoff race. However, there is a red flag, as there often is, and I guess this is my Switzerland flag for the show. I know we use the Wizards as a contrarian play, but I'm looking at the most public play this afternoon that from all the sources I look at might be the Knicks. I'm seeing 70 to 80% on the Knicks. So a very public side, but I wouldn't disagree because they are 8-1 straight up ATS as a favorite the last couple months.
All right, now Tony Finn.
Now to Tony Finn.
Now, Tony Finn, you can go. Yes. Do you like the Knicks? It's a simple yes or no.
like the late great Tony Finn used to say, even the public wins every once in a while.
Oh, I think we've got our answer there. All right, time to move over to overtime here, guys. One game left on the board. It's the only game we haven't talked about, but it also happens to be the game of the night that's seen the most steam and the most movement in that total. And we are going to look at the red-hot Phoenix Suns taking on the Timberwolves. This opened up at 228. There's even a 232 floating around out there. So this continues to get pushed up here between the Wolves and Suns. So, Ski, I'm going to start with you at the top, man. Is it over or not for you in this matchup?
Yeah, Timberwolves aren't really playing any defense, and they want to play up tempo. Suns, I think they'll be comfortable playing at their tempo or whatever tempo they want, and they're pretty efficient on offense. Both teams have been solid on offense lately. Both teams have been going over. It would be over or not for me. I think I like a prop a little bit more in this one, though, and I may use it as a best bet, though.
All right. So, Steve, let me ask you here, because the Suns just held the Grizzlies to, 99 points? Do we trust the Timberwolves to get 100 in this one?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the key here, but the only way I would play it would be the over. One thing I do trust the Timberwolves to do is give up a lot of points in this game. So maybe Joe, if that is your concern, all seriousness, maybe a Phoenix team total over as I channel my inner Matt Josephs on this one. That might be the best way to play it. But, hey, it's gone from 228 up to 231.5, as you mentioned. A lot of public money, but there also appears to be some sharp money. So it'd be over or pass for me in this game. Maybe a Suns team total over, as I mentioned.
All right, Finn, let's not complicate this. Over or under? One word.
With a slash in the middle.
Over.
Over.
I made it words confused, Tony Finn.
That's it, Amanda. Economy of words, my friend. I love it. Very good. You do it all honestly. You like the over, though, Tony Finn? All right, good. Glad we got that. Very good. Okay, let's move on here, guys. It is best bet time. Time for our buzzer beater here, guys. And you know how it works? We throw 60 seconds on the clock. We give these guys the opportunity to do whatever the hell they want with those 60 seconds, provided they give us a best bet. So, Ski, you are running point, my friend, as usual. I do smell a prop in the house, so 60 seconds on the clock. Come on, my man. Talk to us. Where are you going tonight?
Yeah, I always like to throw jabs, and who else but that Tony Finn? He doesn't look too happy right now, though, but I still got to time him up a little bit. The Lakers, he said the Lakers own Charlotte. I know I heard those words come out his mouth. And when is the last time they even played? Who's on the roster?
Yesterday.
So the reason Charlotte's been playing good even is just because LaMelo Ball's been starting. So I'm just gonna throw that all out the window right there. And for my best bet, I'm gonna go back to Phoenix for the player prop. And we say we like points in that game. It's one of the high totals today. Steve said he likes the Phoenix side. I like Devin Booker to go over 26.5 points, mostly because Minnesota, like I said, they don't play any defense. They play up tempo, and they've allowed the most players to score 30 or more. They've allowed 22 players so far this year to score 30 or more. And I'll go Devin Booker over 26.5.
Very nice. Love that. In fact, I was just going to say that seems a little bit low to me. It feels like a 30-point night for Booker. Absolutely. Good stuff there, Ski. And way to spend the first 20 minutes ripping Tony Finn. All right, Merrill, you're in the middle, my man. 60 seconds on the clock. Watch this, guys. It's like Curly from the Globetrotters. He's just going to watch him bounce around, throw a few props in it. Go ahead, Merrill. 60 seconds. Go.
So much stuff to get to here. I believe in balance in life, diversification. That's one of my big hashtags, balance. And I feel unbalanced because I've never had this much fun in the first 20 minutes of the NBA show. So I really think that we got to kind of keep this normal here at this point. I do apologize for not having a prop for John Ryan's birthday. The glasses looking at the system would have been hilarious. I apologize for beating Tony Finn up for a little bit more than normal, but it's just too easy. What I'm going to look at though, guys, is the over under in that Portland game. We talked about New Orleans, Portland. I know Ski leaned over, but I like the under here. It's hard to ever under with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are now 28-11 to the over this year. But if there's a spot for them to go under, it looks like tonight. The game the other night, a quick turnaround situation, high-scoring game, so we zigzagged to the under. As I mentioned earlier, the two teams 47 for 51 from the free throw line. They were both over 40%, 50% from the field, and they still only went over by a mere 10 points. So under 239, Pelicans, Blazers, hold your nose, and let's hope for the reversal tonight.
Oh, look at that. You see the way he did? All right, let's go. We got a brick here coming up now. Come on, let's go, Finn. We got 60 seconds. You got two guys that ripped you here, and they're first few seconds. 60 seconds, all yours, Tony Finn. You got it, my man. Give us your best bet. Where are you going?
Well, best bet's Tony Finn. Real, they can rip me all. Number one, all sports lifetime wager talk. Number one, all baseball lifetime wager talk. Number one, all football lifetime wager talk. Number one, Major League Baseball. Number one, National Football League. Number one, college basketball. I could go on and on, but I think as humble as I usually am, I can go on. Let's go to the game of the night. It's easy. It's simple. Phoenix Suns minus a 10 and change here. This Minnesota team is still Minnesota. I don't care what they've done under a new coach. I could care less what they do. There's no D'Angelo Russell tonight. Phoenix controls the tempo. They control first quarter, the fourth quarter, and they win by closer to 20 than 10. Suns minus 10.5.
Number one, give me my Sawbucks, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Like pay your debts. Good Christ, you left 10 seconds on the clock too. No less. Awful. Yeah, thank you very much. Can we look at that shot replay? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Way to go. Way to completely butch it there. Unbelievable. All right, let's recap it one more time here for you guys. If you had to sit through that and you have no idea where we're going. How about Devin Booker over 26.5 points? We are going to go Pelicans, Trailblazers under 239.5. I do believe, in fact, Steve Merrill is holding his nose. And Tony Finn says, bet on me, even though he doesn't pay his debts when he loses on the show.
You
but
don't
he's still
have to pay when you bet on me. You collect.
And the gold sheet, Knicks, -5. And don't forget that gold sheet, guys. That full write-up is on Twitter at the WagerTalk website. And don't forget, all three of these gentlemen locked and loaded already for tonight. Now would be, I'm just going to throw it out there, now would be the time for you to hop on with all three of them. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access passes as we head into a monster weekend in basketball, both professionally and, of course, in college as March Madness is getting ready to go. Again, best bets tonight, but those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages, certainly the way to go. So, Ski, don't worry, we're keeping track, my friend. We know exactly how much he already owes, and when he loses that bet again tonight, and we're going to have even more money to add to it. And, of course, Stevie Merrill in the middle. Appreciate all the props, as usual, my friend. And Tony Finn, what would a show be without you besides wonderful? Make sure you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner, guys. Honestly, go visit them at WagerTalk.com. Come back and join us tomorrow for the Friday edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com. Gentlemen, thank you. Best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.